Meeting to order and start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moving on to roll call.
Frank Myers. Martha Patterson. Casey Benner.
Here.
Nicole Boyer. Mark Buckeye. Here. We have a quorum.
Okay. Moving on to the approval of agenda for tonight's meeting. Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any opposed? Okay. Moving on to the approval of minutes from last month's meeting, which was June 22nd of 2021.
I'll have a motion to approve the previous meeting.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, moving on to introduction of evidence.
We have the city ordinances, the design guidelines, and then there's a copy of the staff report and associated documents in a table, which you all received, I believe, last Thursday.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, moving on to old business.
I have none.
Okay. Moving on to new business. SGHC 030-21 to receive a certificate of appropriateness to replace 2 rear wooden windows with aluminum-clad wood windows and install 2 aluminum-clad wood windows on the south side of the building in place of 2 wall AC units at 62 South 3rd Street. Do I have anyone here to speak on that? Do you want to?
Sure. The parish approached us about replacing the windows. Like I said, the 2 on the back of the building and 2 on the right side of the building. The 2 on the right side would just be fixed units, or about 3 foot by 3.5 foot, something like that. The windows on the back are not in very good shape, and they wanted to do something that was pretty less maintenance. So they came to us, and this is a sample of the window. It's of a wood design, has the characteristics or the dimensions of a wood window, but it does have aluminum cladding on the outside. It is all wood on the inside and aluminum clad on the outside. I don't know that they've picked a color yet, but it wouldn't have the divided light bar in it. It would just be single pane or 1 light over 1 light glass. We make it, those openings, at least the rear openings, are arched at the top, and this piece is, when they get it, it comes square. They'd be able to cut this arch out of the top piece of metal to be able to fill in the opening. And it would fit, it would be made to fit within the masonry opening that's there. Correct. The brick mold, or the molding that is around it, is a single bead, which was real popular back in that time, and it matches this single bead of brick mold, so to say, that was popular then. Are all the windows that many panes, or something 6 over 6?
No, they're all actually, like I was saying, they're all 1 over 1s. They're not even 2 over. They're not even 2 over 2. They're all single pane over single pane.
Is there any estimate that would indicate what the
just photos, but I can't tell really. You know, to the best of my knowledge, it looks like 1/1 or 2/2, but Mark identified a photo from even older, but I mean, the facade of the building is completely different now. It could be a different building, yeah. Pictures we have show either 1/1 or 2/2, we're not sure.
Well, I've been told, with 30 years of seeing that facade basically changed drastically. I was seeing one in there going,
Definitely, yeah. Right. Certainly on the front, back in the late 60s, early 70s. But the rear has remained the same.
And these two windows are on the rear.
One of those windows is 1/1, the other window is 2/2.
So what I'm getting at is usually structure this, but I'm not. What we have here tonight, looking at it, I can't see that it's going to do any damage to the original structure. The damage and changes to the original structure have been done. If somebody had a specific project that required you revisit the original structure, that would be one thing. This is not. This is basically trying to take a modern fixture, get the advantages, structural advantages we can without damaging any of the structure that's there,
Right.
even though it may not be original.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that I could see that a person would have a real objection, or basis for objection, is the number of panes. And that could last, an argument could last forever.
Right.
So, as I see it, and as little as I know about the project, if we are in fact installing a new window in an existing opening without damage to the existing opening, I see nothing wrong with it, although I'd like to see the same number of panes, but that's...
Well,
Well, and then
That-
we don't know, one window on the back that they're replacing has 2/2 like this. The other window has just 1/1. So who knows when they change
Yeah.
one of those windows. But at
Well-
least now, regardless of how they do it, they're going to be the same.
well,
We
we
don't
could,
have the available historic
Correct.
information to know what it was
Correct.
anyway.
Right.
So,
there would
Depends.
probably be a better chance that they were the 2/2 than the 1/1. And we can look, I didn't look that close at that top window to see if maybe you could tell if they were replaced. Yeah, no, but maybe they were, you could tell that maybe it was a newer sash up there. It'd be no problem for us to make them 2/2. If we'll look at it that way. If they are, if we figure out that they are, that's simple. We'll make them that way. The other thing that they did ask is on the side windows, I believe maybe to keep from fading or to help out from fading, that on the two side windows that were replacing the air conditioners to be able to put tinted glass in those. And that was not on the rear ones, but on the two on the side, which would be, this is a sample of gray tinted glass.
And those are just going to be casement windows on the side anyway.
They're actually gonna be fixed. They won't
Fixed,
go.
that's right. Okay.
How far from the ground
They're
are those
pretty-
side windows?
they're pretty-
I know they're pretty tall.
You can't
but-
even see it.
Okay.
They're probably 12 foot,
10 feet?
12, yeah, right at 12, 10 or 12. Because they were cut in to put the air conditioners in probably in the 70s. And the air conditioners are obsolete now, so we were going to brick them shut, and I go, I'd rather just have windows in there for light purpose. And we did the dark tenant ones up here at the Perry Center, and nobody noticed them. And they look great from the inside because the light comes in, but you can't see in, which is fine too.
And who's going to look up to see if there's a tinted window?
No, right, exactly.
Do we have any additional questions?
Thank you. That's it.
ready to make a motion?
I make a motion that we accept as presented.
I'd second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to accept the certificate of appropriateness as presented. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Moving on to administrative approvals.
I have a few listed on the agenda there. SGHC 029-21, 316A Market Street. Some might know this as the Ammonia Building or other things. It's next door to the current Herald, and the Herald will be moving. That building will be divided into 2 tenant spaces on the first floor. 316A would be on the east side of the building, and they're going to install a metal sign. Basically, it'll look just like the existing Herald sign, only it'll be wood, it'll be metal. And then we have 2 attestations to material replacement, one at 101 Market, which is the Lions Club Park, who are replacing just a portion of their fence, and one at 183 South 3rd, which I believe is ASL Pewter. They're replacing some of the metal on the roof with metal. Any questions on any of that? That's all I have.
Okay. Any other business?
Welcome to Mr. Buckeye to
Thank you
the
so much.
Heritage Commission. Thank you for serving.
You're so welcome.
No, I do not.
Okay. Public comments? Happy?
Give me 5 minutes, I'll think of something. You'll be gone by then.
Okay, we can adjourn.